So, what would you say are the early warning signs of narcissistic abusive behavior?
I actually have notes for this because I can't remember all of these. Definitely don't want to leave any of them out. So here we go. Folks, if you are 16 or 65, whether you're dating or not dating, whether you're seeking a relationship or totally sworn off a relationship, it doesn't matter. You need to know the early warning signs because what you know can save your life. And if it's not your life you're concerned about, what you know can save the life of somebody else in your life. So it's very important that you know these. So let's talk about at least 14 of these. I'm sure there are many more, and not all of them are applicable to every single person. However, they're worthy of mention. If a person speaks with disrespect of their prior partners, believe it or not, that is a warning sign. It's not going to appear like a warning sign because what they're going to do is tell you that they were misunderstood by prior partners. Prior partners just couldn't get them, didn't understand them. But you're the one who gets them. And now they have a hope of having a successful relationship with you because somehow you and he click. And that click just hadn't happened in the past. And that's just the beginning because pretty soon they'll start, as the abuse progresses, they'll start telling you you're no different than their prior partners. That puts pressure on you to perform better. It's always about pressuring you to perform better. And finally, as you get even further, they'll tell you that their prior partners were a whole lot better than you. At this point, you're beginning to lose hope. So there's that one. The second one is disrespect towards you. What does disrespect look like? If it makes you feel small, if it makes you feel unloved or attacked, it's disrespectful. It could be also the other extreme, which is elevating you to the point of you're almost a goddess. Because the reality is that then sets the grounds for false expectations of you. And you will find yourself falling short every day. And you'll be told, I thought you were this amazing woman. But guess what? I realize you're not all that wonderful after all. So that's another form, another red flag. A public show of generosity, always wanting the whole world to think I lavish gifts on my wife.
Right.
Controlling, which will be presented to you as protective. If a person needs to be abusive to protect you, please redefine that protection as controlling and abusive. What about possessive? They can be very possessive, and you're not allowed to do things just because they love you so much. No, that's treating you like property. They own you. So possessiveness equates with ownership. And guess what? When you own something or someone, you can do what you want with that something or someone. You can give that something or someone to somebody else. You can share that something or someone
Fully at your
with somebody
disposal.
else. What about a person who always claims to be right? They are never wrong. Oh, if that isn't a red flag, I don't know what is. Self-centered. Now, like we talked about, narcissism to some degree is healthy. So you could be self-centered. But if that self-centeredness results in you just constantly having to be, everything has to be about you, then that's escalated to an unhealthy level. So keep an eye open when someone appears to be self-centered and does not really care about other people in their lives. They're indifferent to your pain, your joy, whatever it might be. Drugs and alcohol. not all abusive people use drugs and alcohol. Because remember, abuse is a problem in and of itself. You could be an alcoholic and abusive under the influence of alcohol, because alcohol does alter the chemical balance in your brain.
Right.
Same thing with drugs. You could be hallucinating. You have an altered reality that could result in you being abusive.
Okay.
But there are people who do not use drugs and alcohol and are abusive because they have an abuse problem. They enjoy the imbalance of power that they experience, the ability to overpower and exploit somebody else when they are abusive and intimidating. Speaking of intimidating, when a person gets too close to you, when they are giving you an ultimatum or appearing threatening, that is the next step is abuse. They stick your finger in your face, they restrain you, they imprison you or block your way so you can't escape or get out of even their path. All of those are early signs because abuse is next.
So using intimidation
Absolutely
and
a red
threats.
flag. This one that I'm going to talk about next is especially in young people, teenagers, young adults. They pressure you for sex as evidence that you love them. And depending on how they present it to you, you'll be amazed at what does not get away as being sex. Okay? So let's talk about, double standards. This is an interesting one, and you may not think of it as being abusive. But if you have to ask for permission for everything, let's say it could be a simple thing as, is it okay if I go take a nap? Or it could be, you can't answer your cell phone without permission.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find that the other party has absolutely no obligation to take permission from you to do the same things.
Right. This is paired with control, really.
It is. It is about controlling your movements, controlling your ability to act as a free person, to just respond to things volitionally and voluntarily. And before everything that you would do reflexively, you're going to stop and go, I don't know how this is going to be taken, so I'm going to have to ask first if it's okay. That's abusive. That's a red flag.
So if you're walking on eggshells
You
over
better
minor
believe it.
things.
Absolutely. A negative attitude towards women. When a person has derogatory names and terminology that they apply to women, when they do not display respect for other women, and this might be in words, this may be in deeds, this may be in little things you notice, this may be in comments about other people. That is a red flag. And don't make excuses for that person saying, I wonder what his mother did to him, that he hates women.
Right. So here you're talking about a pattern of denigrating women
That's
in
right.
general.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And oftentimes it's the women in your life.
Okay.
So it could be the women in the abusive person's life, mothers, sisters, neighbors' wives.
Oh, right. People you
yeah.
personally know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that then will also carry through and carry forward to women in your life, your siblings, your friends. There will always be something negative. Now, they might throw you off by saying something just wonderful and amazing about women as well. That's why narcissistic abuse is the most sophisticated form of deception.
Right.
So nothing is cookie cutter. They are very different in public. Sometimes, depending on what they're trying to accomplish, they might be nice to you in public and mean at home because they're trying to present a nice guy image.
Mm-hmm.
At other times, they might be mean and tough in public because they want to show everybody who's in charge. And they might be tender when they're just with you. Either way, it's a problem.
Sure.
And the last one is they are attracted to vulnerability. Every now and then they will question your weakness and say they despise it. But they really are attracted to your vulnerability because remember, if it is about control, once they know what your weakness is, they've got you.
They can manipulate
They
you.
can manipulate you. So they want to come across as your rescuer.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you are a recently traumatized person, they will give you comfort. They will fake empathy for your trauma. They may even have some very valuable words to offer you. But the reality is they're thinking, great. Once I can get her to trust me, this traumatized person is going to depend on me for affirmation and for strength. And some of them only are interested in successful women, women with a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
or women who are extremely beautiful, because it's about them looking better.
Right.
And so narcissists oftentimes don't have a true view of themselves. Sometimes they view themselves as better than everybody else, but deep down inside, they question if others view them the same way.
Okay.
So they are obsessed with themselves and how others perceive them.
So they're really quite insecure.
They are very insecure.
Hmm.
They are extremely insecure. They have, remember, confidence has nothing to do with being better than anybody else. Confidence is if you can walk into the room full of people and not care whether you're better than anybody else,
Right.
because you know who you are and you're good with that. That's confidence. And narcissists do not have confidence because they have a compelling need to be the best man in the room or the best woman in the room, and that every eye and every head turn and notice them. Thank you for joining us. We have plenty more to go on narcissistic abuse. Stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't miss a thing. Take care.